Welcome to the Blockchain Report. We discuss all things blockchain. blah, 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 blah. Talking too fast today. Getting all excited. But this is the Blockchain Report. Where we discuss all things blockchain technology, digital assets, DeFi, NFTs, and much more. And today we're just going to cover what's been going on the past few days with the whole FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried collapse, sending the markets into a tailspin. Got a nice little bounce here yesterday, but we're starting to drop back down a little bit today. Don't really trust any overnight stuff. Made a few trades this week, but I just don't feel like holding anything overnight really. So something short scalps. If you go long, if you can find some bounce areas, oversold indicators, and just play it smart. Don't stay in it too long. And yeah, it's it's crazy. I hope that none of you had funds on FTX. If you had funds on FTX, I'm sorry. BlockFi, it's a big mess. It's a big mess. I wanted to pull this up too because BlockFi is now affected by this as well, and we don't know how many other places are affected by this, but FTX announced yesterday that we are shocked and dismayed by the news regarding FTX and Alameda. We, like the rest of the world, found out about the situation through Twitter. Given the lack of clarity on the status of FTX and FTX US and Alameda, we are not able to operate business as usual. Our priority has been and will continue to be to protect our clients and their interests. Until there is further clarity, we are limiting platform activity, including pausing client withdrawals as allowed under our terms. We will share more specifics as soon as possible. We request that clients not deposit to BlockFi wallet or interest accounts at this time. We intend to communicate as frequently as possible going forward, but anticipate that this will be less frequent than what our clients and other stakeholders are used to. So this is an Leo trades. He's a pretty big influencer in the space, and so this is what we call contagion, and that's right. These people are, and this is not just given the lack of clarity on the status. They had a large exposure, pretty much. I don't want to throw numbers out there, but a good chunk of their holdings was in FTX, and doesn't look like BlockFi is going to be getting people their money anytime soon. So this is deadly. This is deadly. It's pretty wild what's going on. Probably the wildest week in crypto, the history in the space. I mean, I know the BitConnect thing was big, but man, this is probably the top. This is probably the worst. You'll see it. Max Payne, yeah, we're there, but we still might get some more downside. I mean, this is about as Max Payne as you can get, but there's always worse. And I guess we'll dive into a little bit what's going on. There's a pretty good thread right here, Cointelegraph, the FTX's ongoing saga, everything that's happened until now. And if they do go, and they just filed for bankruptcy, and if they go down, if it's 100% certain, because right now everything's still up in the air. That's why we haven't reached these levels down here. And if they go under totally, then you'll definitely see 10 to 12K, possibly under. Yeah, it's not looking too great. Not looking too great. So just hold on to your. Whoop, I need to put this back. That's the next rate hike. I believe it's on the 14th. So let me check and see. I don't have access to the live chat on here, so I want to see if anyone's in here. Nope. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, well, let's dive into this a little bit. Check the market's starting to dump a little bit. It's all right. Where's the FTT token at? Oof. Yep. All right, so let's dive into this a little bit. So we got about a week ago, reports SBF-founded company held significant amounts of FTT. The saga kicked off on November 2nd after reports that a leaked Binance balance sheet from the Sam Bankman-Fried Foundation trading firm Alameda Research suggested that company held a significant amount of FTX tokens, FTT, the native token on the FTX exchange. A large trading firm holding so much of one asset concerned the crypto community and brought questions regarding the relationship between Alameda and FTX. Then on the 5th, traders picked up significant FTT movement to Binance. The Twitter account Whale Alert, which tracks significant on-chain crypto movements, notified its users that nearly 23 million FTT, worth over 584 million, moved onto Binance from an unknown wallet. This time it was around 17% of the supply. Then the 6th, Alameda CEO explains the balance sheet. Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison tried to quell any panic on November 6, tweeting, saying the leaked balance sheet wasn't reflective of the whole story and noted that that sheet in particular was only for a subset of our corporate entities and other assets worth over 10 billion aren't reflected there. Oh man, let's see if this girl is still on Twitter. Yeah. Wow. And that's the last she's tweeted. I guess she's not going to be doing this. Oh, that was last year. What good is crypto? Wow. I mean, this is crazy. And they knew what was going on. So November 6th, same day, Binance moves to liquidate FTT holdings due to recent revelations. Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao said that his exchange would liquidate the entire FTT holdings, citing recent revelations that have come to light, believed to be in reference to the Alameda balance sheet. Zhao said Binance held around 2.1 billion equivalent in Binance BUSD and FTT due to its FTX divestment last year, but didn't clarify Binance's current FTT holdings. He added it would sell tokens in a way that would minimize market impact, expecting the token sales to take a few months to complete. That we discussed the other day on the show. So it was confirmed that the transfer of nearly 23 million FTT was part of Binance's liquidation move. And he added the move was just post-exit risk management. And if you don't remember the Terra Luna collapse, this is all just learning lessons, man. The only money I have on exchanges is on KuCoin, and it's only like $200 or $300. I keep all of my stuff off of not on exchanges, on like personal wallets. And yeah, gotta get them off. The same day, Alameda CEO offers to buy Binance's FTT holdings. Shortly after Zhao's November 6th announcement of Binance liquidating its FTT position, Ellison tweeted to Zhao saying they would happily buy it all for $22 per share. Yeah. And then the next day, FTX bank run begins. Exchange addresses sluggish withdrawals. With reports and rumors swirling, FTX users began to withdraw their funds from the exchange or fear it would go bust. And commentators implored those who hadn't already to get their crypto out of FTX. Get your funds out of FTX. This is financial advice. The only time you hear anybody say this is financial advice is get your shit off the exchange. Only keep what you're willing to lose on there. And reported data from Nansen on November 7th showed stablecoin outflows on FTX reached 450 million over 7 days, and users began to report sluggish withdrawals. And then, yeah, SBF says assets are fine, implores CZ to come together. Shortly after the exchange addressed user concerns, Bankman-Fried fired off a series of tweets saying a competitor is trying to go after us with false rumors and added the FTX is fine, assets are fine, He claimed the exchange has enough to cover all client holdings, that it doesn't invest client assets, and has been processing all withdrawals and will continue to be. Bankman-Fried said FTX had $1 billion in excess cash and called on Zhao to work together for the ecosystem. CZ refuses Alameda's over-the-counter deal. And yeah, C signaled his disinterest in taking up the deal earlier, poised by Ellison to buy the FTT holdings for 22 per token, saying, "I think we will stay in the free market." Wow. We still hold Luna, now Luncy today, is what CZ said. The FTT price and crypto markets start to waver. November 8th, just was today, the 11th, 3 days ago. Some analysts began to warn on November 7th of the significant price drawdown of FTT due to a series of announcements. And early on November 8th, the FTT price dove around 30% to around $15.40 from $22 in a matter of hours. The price of Bitcoin also started to buckle for fears that FTX could soon be going under. FTX faces a liquidity crunch, moves to sell exchange to Binance. In a shock announcement, Bankman-Fried said that FTX had come to an agreement on a strategic transaction with Binance for the exchange to help cover what he called a liquidity crunch, and added all assets would be covered one-to-one. Zhao said shortly after that Binance had signaled a non-binding letter of intent to acquire the exchange, but noted they reserved the right to pull out from the deal at any time. And that's the telltale sign: is you got to cover your ass, man. You don't go into a deal like this and just say, "Oh yeah, we'll take it right off the bat." No. Tell them we got to pull out if we need to. Says CZ pullout game strong. Then November 8th, 9th, SBF removes assets are fine tweet. FTX websites go dark. And then this is just wild, man, wild. Yeah, 2 days ago, the websites for FTX Ventures, Capital Arm, FTX Ventures, and Alameda were taken offline, whilst unconfirmed reports circulated that FTX's legal and compliance staff quit. On November 8th, reports on November 9th began to surface that Binance is possibly looking to back out of the agreement. Oh, and now my mechanic likes to give me a call when I'm in the middle of a stream. It's all right. I'll call him back. Binance officially backs out of the agreement. Less than 48 hours after the initial announcement, they announced that they will not be pursuing the acquisition of FTX, because as a result of corporate due diligence, as well as the latest news reports regarding mishandling customer funds and alleged U.S. agency investigations, we have decided that we will not pursue the potential acquisition of FTX. And crypto markets just bleed. And SBF reportedly tells investors he needs $8 billion in emergency funding to cover the liquidity crunch. That's wild. Yeah, he's lost all of his fortune, all of it. So FTX website urges against depositing, unable to process withdrawals. And yesterday, Sequoia Capital marks down entire $214 million FTX stake to zero. Ouch. Claiming them as a complete loss. The letter says that the crisis facing FTX has created a solvency risk, but claimed its exposure to the exchange is limited in its Global Growth Fund 3, where its cost basis for the FTX portion of the total fund totaled $150 million. So SBF apologizes over FTX liquidity crisis. I fucked up twice. And he knew. It's like, yeah, you fucked up, but you've been living this lie for years now. Years. And you don't just say, oh, I fucked up, and then just keep fucking up and just, ignoring the fact that you're stealing customers' funds to, send somewhere else. And he should have done better. He should have been doing better since the beginning. I mean, you can't just, this is just not okay. Japan's financial regulator requests FTX Japan halt operations. Blockchain data suggests that FTX may have resumed withdrawals. And Exchange's hot wallet address, which has remained inactive since FTX announced November 8th it would be halting user withdrawals, has resumed activities as of 3:15 12:50 p.m. UTC. It shows the multiple types of tokens and large sums of transactions have since left the hot wallet, which has a balance of 469 million at the time of publication. Maxine Waters warns of major consequences for users of unregulated crypto firms, citing FTX. The chair of the U.S. House of Representatives Financial Services Committee published for additional federal oversight of crypto trading platforms and consumer protection amid FTX facing liquidity issues. In November 10th statement, Waters cited FTX's difficulties as the latest example of incidents involving the collapse of cryptocurrency companies and how such events could potentially impact consumers in the U.S. So the thing with the regulation, I've listened to a lot of people who've been in the space longer than me talk about this, and a lot of people who have been in the space for a long time have been yelling, screaming, even meeting with political figures for regulation, even going to DC and stuff and talking to people. And it's just not happened. The SEC wants to go after all this bullshit when they need to be focusing on good regulation that can help the space grow and bring a little bit more comfort that if your funds get wiped out, you're going to be covered, or just having less nefarious actors. I mean, you look at the traditional finance, there's savages all over that place that will, market makers that wreck you, and companies like Robinhood who sell your data and know your positions and where to liquidate you, and it's all nefarious shit. It's all bad actors. And you even have the people from the SEC meeting with this fool, Sam Bankman-Fried, work on regulation, but regulation that would help Sam Bankman-Fried and not be good for the crypto community or the blockchain space itself. So you have these government officials, not government officials, they're unelected officials who run the SEC and the Fed and stuff, and if they're meeting with these corrupt people behind closed doors and they don't know that these people are nefarious actors like this, what does that say about them? What does that say about the SEC, who's willing to meet with this guy right here? The head of the SEC met with him to go over crypto regulation. And is this not a problem? This guy made a Ponzi scheme. He had a Ponzi scheme, billions of dollars. That's like, I heard it earlier on BitBoy's stream, is Bernie Madoff. It's like the SEC meeting with Bernie Madoff and trying to come up with ways of moving money around and coming up with regulation on financial systems. And if you don't know who Bernie Madoff was, I think he just died recently. Yeah, he died last year. This guy. He ran the largest Ponzi scheme in history, worth about $64.8 billion. And then it's like the SEC meeting with this guy, but just a younger version. So it's just crazy to see that they are so laxed on regulation or coming up with regulation and meeting with people who are just trashing the space. It's a total shit show. But sometimes there's got to be shockwaves sent through the ecosystem, and this is it. So FTX US announces it may halt trading on its platform in a few days, which has already happened. FTX, assets frozen by Bahamian securities regulator. And Bahama-based FTX account, because FTX was based in the Bahamas, and then you have FTX.US, which it's all gone bankrupt now. The FTX account withdraws millions of funds for other users using NFTs. Yeah, they opened withdrawals again on November 10th, but only for users from the Bahamas. In order to help with users from different domiciles, a Bahamian account is reportedly withdrawing funds for others, bypassing the internal balance transfers block by selling NFTs on FTX's NFT marketplace. The Bahamian account creates an NFT, then the stuck user buys the NFT with their full balance. The Bahamian account then sends the money they paid to decentralized wallet address of the buyer's choice. And then talk about a racket to get your funds out, reaching out to people in the Bahamas who have accounts, and then, oh my God, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. California regulators to invest FTX crypto exchange collapse, and rumors about the arrest of FTX Sam Bankman-Fried fuel community reaction. I don't believe he was arrested because you would have seen so much more news on it. But there was also, let's see. Yeah, Alameda employees resign collectively after meeting. FTX institutional head resigned just a day after the exchange's fallout. So $8 billion in liabilities, and they went bankrupt. Where's it at? I know it was on CoinDesk. The FTX files for bankruptcy protection in U.S. And this was really, really trippy. So his roommates in the Bahamas ran his crypto empire and dated. So the whole operation was run by a gang of kids in the Bahamas, a person familiar with the matter. And apparently these people there were 10. They all used to be in romantic relationships with each other, but many of them were former co-workers from quantitative trading firm Jane Street, and others the SBF met at MIT. It was not like, I mean, he's a smart guy, but smart using his intelligence for the wrong reasons. So yeah, I don't really want to dig into all this, but it's just a total shit show. It's crazy. But hopefully there will be a movie about this one day. We can say that we lived through it. Because, man, this is just the most wild thing. You know, there's a lot of stuff on Twitter, videos where over the past couple years, really questionable things that not just SBF would say, but Caroline Ellison, and it was just really cringy and creepy how these people knew that they were fucking people over, and they have no remorse for anything. You know, they might feel bad, but if they really felt bad, they would have stopped doing this shit a long time ago. And I don't want to bring up like personal matters, but this guy right here, okay, he looks 98%. He could be identical twins with a former friend of me and my girlfriend. I'm not gonna dox him or anything, but he looks exactly like this dude, SBF. And our old friend, who could be twins with this guy, he was very narcissistic and kind of egotistical and just really gave me the same vibes as this guy does. And we had to end our friendship with him because it was just the things he would say and not holding himself accountable, and it was just really, really fucking weird how similar this guy is to our old friend, and it just really kind of, I could never trust this guy anyway, just kind of looking at him and how he talks and acts, and just red flags all around. You know, when you just get bad vibes from people. So, yeah. I hate to be judgmental like that, but sometimes when you feel a type of way, you feel a type of way. And now we know. Now we know. Goodbye, SBF. And hopefully this will be the last blow off of the last fireworks we need to capitulate more and let the dust settle. Let's put all this shit in 2022 behind us. We got a month and a half left in the year. A year that's been full of just nightmare stuff. Nightmare. You come from the... Let me get these indicators out of the way a little bit more. I'm going to drop this a little bit. So you got... just a fucking downfall. Well, oh my gosh. Look at this. You want to see these trend lines, man? So this is the high. This is the high from last November. It's been a year since we hit the market, or hit the top. See this trend line I draw coming right down here before it broke through. And then look at that. Look at how funny it drops almost exactly on the trend. I'm sure we'll break through this soon, but that's cool. It's pretty interesting how it can bounce. I didn't even go a little bit lower on that. Yeah, shit, that's pretty nice, but trends aren't always, they're always meant to be broken. But I just thought that was funny. Now you got a little 20K drop right here. We just got go kind of sideways for a few months, and then you have the Three Arrows Capital and Celsius, and then the Terra Luna collapse, and now you got the FTX. It's just, can we just never ever fucking come back to the events like this going forward? We got to have better actors in the space, people who want to help the space and make it grow and not tear it down, because it just makes the space look bad when people like this just expose it and manipulate it. But hopefully we can have a better I think we'll accumulate all next year. We might be in this choppiness. Maybe even down here. Definitely not down here. But just don't know. We just don't know. Oh yeah, and I want to say thank you all for hitting 100 subs, 100 subscribers. So thank you all so much. I'm just under 6 months doing this, and I've been enjoying it. So continue to keep making videos and going to meetups and events, and keep growing together. But that is it for me today. Lunchtime is over, so I got to get out of here, get to work. But I hope you all have a wonderful day. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with me, and I hope your stuff is safe. Keep your stuff off exchanges. Keep only what you're willing to lose on there, and only have a small amount to trade with in case these firms go under. But I appreciate y'all. Have a great day. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.